Hey everybody, it's Whiskey11 going at Let's Play number 3. Well, there goes that again. Going back at Let's Play number 3. At the end of the last game, we had set up all of our automation for steel and copper. Sorry, correction, for iron and copper. And in this one, we are going to go ahead and get started on science. With science, I do have a little blueprint that I like to use. I will go ahead and post a link to the imager file of it. Otherwise, you can just copy it straight from the video if that works easiest for you. This science is a very compact science layout, which is why I like it a lot, actually. So, with that in mind, let's get a rolling on this. In order to do the red and green science packs, I am going to need 15 assembly machines, which means a lot of iron and a lot of copper. And we got a lot of both. While those are building, I'm going to come up here and start clearing some trees out so we got some room. Because this is probably the most compact I've ever seen a science pack or a science station, but I don't know that it's exactly the most compact. I've found that it does tend to bottleneck slightly once we start asking it to do the blue science packs. And when you get into the upper tier research stuff, it can kind of slow down a little bit, but that's okay. The red and green science packs are almost infinitely expandable with pretty minor tweaks, so that's always a nice aspect of it. And I think we could mirror the blue production line and accomplish similar goals with blue and mass producing blue, but I've never done it, and frankly it researches fast enough, so I'm legitimately not worried about trying to increase the speed of it at all. One other thing that, if we've got plenty of time to do it at the end of this, I'd like to start getting some military production stuff up. And by military, what I'm referring to is just getting a bunch of ammo made so that I can go and take out some of these colonies that are nearby. That'll give us a little bit of extra breathing room, and maybe if I've got time, I'll go ahead and start wall production as well, because we'll need walls to wall this place off from the silly little biters. I've always been curious as to why they call it biters, you know, but it's an interesting name for an alien. They do bite you, so I guess that's fair. It's at this point that many people are going, God, I wish you had robotics. Me too. So one of the late game, if you've never played this game before, later on in the game you'll get robots that you can select whole swaths of land to clear for you. You can even get a personal roboport so that you don't even need to set up the roboports to do it. I think that'll be enough room for right now. I am going to move... while that's working on that, I'm going to build a couple more turrets so that we can get them moved too eventually. So, go over here. We're going to give ourselves plenty of room. This first one is going to go into making gears, and it's going to have a copper line that gets run down here, and then a iron plate line that runs up this way. Uh-oh, boulder. I think I got enough ammo. We'll burn through it quick. Yeah. That's how we do this the hard way. Okay, so we got that guy down. This next one, we got to leave one room for one inserter, the belt, the inserter, and it goes up. Yep, there. This one will be producing wire. This one will be producing green cards, and this one will be producing inserters for green production. We have 1, 2, and these will go. That's 10 of them there. That will go to 5 of these will go to green. The other 5 will go to red. Come come over here and clear this out. Apparently didn't do a very good job. Who hired this guy? He's terrible at cutting down trees. This last one up here need 1 spot, 2 spot, 3. I think that's correct. Okay, so that one's set up. We need this guy to do wire. He'll feed into this guy, which is going to do green cards, which will feed into this guy, which will do assembler. No, inserters. I need automation 2. This guy is going to go to making belts. And then it'll be green, 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 green. Sorry, correction, this will be red. Don't you love it when the person that's doing the Let's Play doesn't actually look at the plan before he starts assigning things? It only matters insofar as the which direction the belts go, because, well, you'll see the belt layout here in a minute. Oops. You'll see the belt layout here in a minute, and it gets complicated, but it's not like it's super difficult. Okay. So we got this line. This is going to be the iron line. And it's going to come all the way over to here. And then get picked up by a long-handled inserter there. And then we have a copper line that runs down here. And it's going to do some funky things. So it's going to do that. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to go ahead and make one more assembly machine. And we're going to extend our production of of gears over here, so that we have one more production of gears, because the gear production seems to be really slow in this towards the end game. So I'm just going to do that straight off the bat. And this guy needs to go all the way up to there. Now, this guy goes up to here. Okay, so the way this all works out is if I ever get automation 2, which I'm going to need here soon, this is going to be pulling in copper from this line. It's going to make the wire. It's going to feed the wire into the green card. The green card is going to pick up some iron plate from this line, and then it's going to output the green card into the inserter assembly machine, which is going to pick up a copper with a long-handled inserter, a gear from a long-handled inserter, and then an iron plate from this iron belt, and then it's going to output that to this belt. And this line is going to take a gear from this belt and iron from this one to make belt. Clear as mud, right? And now I gotta remember how I got the iron over there. We'll address that in a little bit. And do some more tree clearing. Also, eventually I'm going to need to expand and do some steel work as well. And I think in the last video we talked about doing steel down below. I'm going to give myself plenty of room, though, to split this line off, because I have a feeling that this is going to need to get longer so that we got enough steel throughput. For right now, we'll be okay. We'll go ahead. We're going to need a bunch of those. And we'll let that guy get to work. This is going to be real sloppy off the start, and that's because, quite honestly, it don't matter. It ain't gonna matter for a little bit anyway. I have seen a number of different people just machine gun down all these resources, and while there's a lot of trees in this area, I'm not too keen on destroying resources if I don't need to. You can't mine the big rocks, so they get destroyed. With this setup here, at least temporarily, we can always move this assembly line. We can always move this belt further down if we need to expand all of this, which I'm sure will eventually happen. Okay, because this guy is there, yep, that'll work perfectly. Except for that. Don't! Make more gears. Running in circles. So yeah, I think we'll do steel production down here, and with steel production, I think we'll be able to even go one step further and start doing some stone wall making, which will require furnaces, a furnace setup like this as well. And that's okay. Once we get to the furnace setup, I don't think it won't take too much time. Again, this is real sloppy, but that's okay. Oops. For right now, this is really all we're using these resources for anyway, so it's perfectly acceptable for us to do this, even though it's perfectly lazy. Make sure we get this guy. Yes. Get some power pole action. Do. And actually, I think we can do this. Perfect. So that gets us at least the initial production of gears, which means we can start. Oh. That'll work. That's not ideal either, but as you can tell, there's oftentimes things that aren't ideal. Heh. Where is the chest? Gotcha. And this is so that we can feed these all into one line without having to do it, because in the middle, well, hang on one second. I'll do some splaining here. We'll get my lab from all the way down over here, and we'll move it all the way up there. Is that Lab Jonathan Roberts? Is that what the name of that was? Alright. I don't know who Mr. Roberts is, but we'll roll with it. Alright, so with the labs, what they'll do is there will be 10 of them on each side. And this whole loop here will go down and around on one side, and we'll allow this side to pick up the green and red science packs. Oops. With regular inserters, and then there will be another side on this side over here that we will be able to pick them up with long-handled inserters, and on this belt here will be the blue and purple science pack. So we have red and green over here, blue and purple over here. And like I said, this I think is probably one of the more efficient ways to do this without huge amounts of space and resources and inventories and all of that. Run some power. That's not where that goes. God, I can't even stick to basic principles here. There you go. You can see it's starting to do its magic. And once we get some inserters down here, don't need these, we can go ahead and get this row going, so that when the red science packs come down, it can start. And there is red science production for right now. And green will be a little bit more difficult and in depth, but not impossible. Soon. I'm moving. Automation 2 will be the next thing that we research, because we really need to get that rolling. And I'd also like to have more of these. How far are we from... Oh, we're plenty far. Doesn't seem to be any shortage of copper and iron yet, so that's good. We can start getting this line going. We need... Where are you? That's what I need. So in order to do that, we need this. Research! While I'm thinking about this, how did I... Oh, I remember. Need a splitter. Break this guy a little bit earlier so we can run... Oops. Run this belt this way. Don't judge me! Okay, this makes gears. He needs iron. Now he needs power. There we go. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works, by golly. We're going to need all these anyway. We'll build the rest of these. Hopefully this is right. I guess we'll find out. I can hear you all screaming in the background. No, don't do it. It's a terrible idea. That's less ugly. That's still not perfect. Alright, that'll get that rolling. Got gears. And let's see, what can I build here to get this going a little bit quicker? I don't know that we're going to be able to get to the military stuff just quite yet today in this Let's Play. We'll probably catch up with that here in the next Let's Play as soon as we get done with the red and green production, because red and green will carry us for plenty of time until we need to start getting to blue, and we've got some other researches that we need to do to get into blue research, blue science packs. So with that in mind, what can we do here while we wait? Let's clear some trees out, and we'll chat about the eventual layout for this. So as we get closer and closer to the late game, we're going to start running out of copper, we're going to start running out of coal, we're going to start running out of iron. We're going to probably never have enough petroleum, and petroleum from crude oil. Probably not going to have enough crude oil. Petroleum I think we'll be okay with if we can get all the research going, but the problem is going to end up being... Oh, good. No, no. Yes. The problem is going to end up being we're going to have a whole lot of room for a rail station, and that rail station is really going to be the hub, and I want it to be able to feed into these lines here. So with that in mind, we're going to do steel here. We'll probably end up dragging all of our stone over here too, and then we'll start bussing all this stuff out so that we can build all of our stuff to the north here. With that in mind, I think the best place then to put the trains is going to be down here. And that should give us plenty of room for the trains. We're going to need one for coal, one for copper, one for iron, one for oil. And I think that's really all we'll need. I don't think we're going to need any other ones. I do have Farrell. I guess we can put a station in there for Farrell. Oops, sorry. We could get a station in there for Farrell and let him go to town. But in order to do that, we're going to have to clear out some trees. So that's what I'm doing, clearing out some of these trees. It's going to be a while before I think... Oh, it'll start speeding up here. As you can see, one of the more difficult aspects of this game is managing all of the different resources and building stuff in the early game without any form of automation for it. Because stuff like science labs, once you've built your 20 of them, I mean, I guess you can go and do more. It's not really going to speed anything up if you don't have the ability to supply them with science packs. My experience with this is that the 20 science stations go through plenty of science packs plenty quick. So with that in mind, I don't know that you really need to do any automation to build labs. The problem is if it's like this, they take forever to build. That takes up a lot of airtime on a Let's Play, and that nobody wants to see me do a whole bunch of tree chopping. I might do that in the interim between now and the next Let's Play release. That way we don't have to watch that. Go back to our map here. We do have two colonies that have me at least mildly concerned. We've got this colony, two biter colonies, I should clarify. This biter colony and this biter colony. What I'll end up doing is as soon as I start getting military up and running, I will get myself a whole boatload of ammunition, and we'll go up here and we'll take them out using turrets and repair packs. And that will actually go really, really quickly. These turrets, even at low... Oh, speaking of, one of my turrets just killed something. Even at these lower levels, the turrets still do a boatload of damage. And they're quite effective at killing off the little biters. This will speed up science quick. Yep. Okay, so now that we've got that done, let's do some looking here and see where we should be going next. That requires green. don't have green. Looks like everything is going to be green. Armor crafting 2. Yep. That'll go by quick. Still building these stupid things. And as you can see with how quickly these are all going, this will all get faster and faster and faster. With this in mind, I'm going to throw at least one of these on. And that will allow us to get started on this. We are going to need, yep, we got long-handled inserter. We need one of those there, one of those there. We're going to need one here. That should be it. So the output to this guy needs to go there, the output to that guy needs to go there. Look at that. We are just a building belts. And they will start picking that up. As soon as this gets done, we can start building us some inserters. I think he needs iron as well. There we go. Now green should also be starting. We're going to research a tool belt that will help speed some of this stuff up too. Need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. So this is the start of our research stuff. Now off in this area there's going to be a bunch of assemblers here for blue. Down over here is going to be all of our fluids processing stuff. So we'll be making, on one side we'll be making plastic bars that go up and around, and on the other side we'll be making sulfur, which then gets turned into sulfuric acid, which then gets turned into batteries. And you need red cards, batteries, smart inserters, and steel to make blue science packs. So with all of these over here making the blue and our chemical over here, that means all of this space up here is going to get used to make our steel and all the requisite materials for the smart inserters. And we will eventually need to get into the electric furnaces, and those power everything to power those things in order to continue our science up here with blue. We can kind of sort of finesse it with coal, but it gets really, really difficult. But it can be done. I'm not going to say it can't be done, but it's just difficult. And there's no reason to make things difficult if we can avoid it. All being difficult does is cause headaches. Nope, they're starting to get built. We need a bunch of those and a bunch of those. And with this, oh, I done foobarred. If you were following along and copying my building plan there, you probably just did the same thing I did. Don't! And I just did it again. It must be like super early in the morning or something ridiculous. Try this again. Well, that's rude. I don't know why it flipped sides on me, apparently. That's fine. There we go. And now that that's done, let's look into... Do we have steel? I think we do. Let's go ahead and upgrade to the faster logistics belts. We can start doing that if we have time in the next one. Let's finish up our long-handled inserters here for this side, and then we will call that a wrap for this Let's Play. And just to recap with what we're going to do in this next one is we are going to go ahead and start our military production stuff. So we're going to start producing magazines, as well as walls, magazines and walls. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in Let's Play number 4. Thanks for watching.